doesn't matter because I'm old. But it's a great school, and I have partnered with them on a number of projects. So, and I'll talk about some of them. So one of them is a company I run called FilmHedge. We finance film and TV productions of all sizes. It doesn't matter how large, or it does matter how small. And I can get into that if people have questions, but for the sake of time, I won't. But we fund up to $10 million into a single film or TV production. These tend to be larger productions, $5 to $35 million budgets. To put that in context, the movie Everything, Everywhere, All at Once was a $25 million movie. So movies like that, bigger, smaller, that's what we do. We work with a lot of A-list producers and directors and talent, some of which you would know. And we are primarily just the capital into those productions. And so I can talk to you a lot about film finance. That's basically what we do at FilmHedge. Film finance, that's it. We do one thing. And I started that company because when I was in school, the biggest problem that I had coming out of art school, where I studied film, and everything you learn in a school like SCAD about filmmaking is great. And I always say they taught me everything I needed to know about making a movie, except for how to fund one. And that was terrifying when I was 20, 21, coming out of school, wanting to be a director, no safety net, no money, no connections. And that's a big risk to take on yourself. And God bless the people who do it and survive and come out on the other side as your Kevin Smiths or your Tarantinos or your Spike Lees. But I didn't want to take that risk because I've also seen the other side, a lot of people who just never quite made it. So I didn't pursue it right then. But what I did instead was I built a career doing other things. I did work in the entertainment industry for a while on the music side, and that's because a big part of what you learn when you're learning to make movies is editing and specifically sound design, Foley, things like that. And so the transferable skill for me growing up in Atlanta, Georgia, which is where I live, was to recording studios. And so I worked in recording studios for a while. And then eventually ended up meeting a guy who is very famous in my hometown, a guy named Tyler Perry, who's a big director, American director. He was working on his first movie at my recording studio. And so the recording studio that I worked at, he hired me away to come work for him, and his career started to take off. And then I worked in the entertainment industry, the film side of the industry for a while, still as a sound engineer. And then I decided to quit and go pursue my other love, which at the time was tech. And I went into software development, building tech startups, and had a 15-year career building tech startups. Sold 2 of those companies. The most recent one was Warner Media. And that exit, that's what you call when you sell a company, an exit, allowed me to pay for, or it gave me the money, the means to start investing in film and TV and so forth out of my company, SoutBox Productions, which I run now. And so I started to invest in movies, what's called co-finance. So if you're a producer working on a movie, and where does the money come from? You find wealthy individuals or banks or hedge funds or other groups to give you, to invest in the production. And I had also heard that film and TV was a very risky investment asset. And so instead of investing, I learned that there was opportunity to lend to film and TV producers. And that's an important difference, because when you're lending, you're essentially asking for a promise, a guarantee that you're going to get paid back. That's secured by something. In this case, deals by Netflix, Amazon, Disney, etc. So I lend to film and TV producers because I know that these other groups are going to be the guarantor for the producer. The film doesn't have to make money. I know they're going to pay me regardless because they're buying a product. I'm cash flowing the product. They make sure everybody involved gets paid. So that's what I do. That's what FilmHedge does. That's how I got here. And when I started my company to finance film, based on all the things that I learned over those 15 years, and started to raise money, one of the groups that wanted to invest in the company was Savannah College of Art and Design. They have an alumni investment fund called SCAD Pro. And so SCAD Pro does lots of things. It will invest in, it does a lot of business consulting, but they also have a fund where they invest in alumni-led tech startups, no matter how small, and they will follow the successful ones as they grow. And we're one of the, I would say, one of the largest at this point. I started the company 3 years ago. We've now raised $100 million. We have, a great team, all of whom are here at the film festival. We're sponsors of the film festival. I think that's one of the reasons why our contact at SCAD, Mackin, wanted you guys to come here. And so welcome. I don't know what the plan was, so we weren't quite sure if you were attending the festival or not. But either way, it's great to see all of the activity and everything that's going on. This is the biggest film festival in the world. It's the most important film festival in the world. I always tell people that think of it like the Oscars. The Oscars is one night. The Cannes Film Festival is 2 weeks. So imagine if the Oscars lasted for 2 weeks. That's the Cannes Film Festival. So, it's just very a big celebration of the film community, and lots of awards given, lots of careers are made here. But for you, what's important when you're working on films, those of you who are filmmakers, is you can sell films here in what's called the Marché du Film. That's the part that we sponsor because we finance films. We want people to know that who go to the Marché du Film to sell their productions, that they can come to a company like FilmHedge and raise some or all of the capital they need for that production. And the other thing that put me in partnership with SCAD was they invested in my company. This was now 2 years ago. We raised money for a second time. They reinvested in the company, so they do follow on and grow with companies. But then I told them I was working on a feature film, and this is a feature film, a screenplay that I wrote, my first screenplay, my first project that I'm packaging and directing, and that was something that I just shared with them in passing, and they said, "Oh, well, maybe that's something we want to be involved in too." And so right now at the campus in Savannah, Georgia, and Atlanta, Georgia, there are a total of 6 different classes at SCAD that are creating assets for this $15 million feature film that has a lot of talent that we can't share with you, but it's going to be a really powerful, impactful film. It's an action thriller, and we're super excited. This is the producer of the film, Jason Porter, one of the producers.
Hi, guys.
And Jason has been doing a lot of work with SCAD, which you should talk about. My name is Jon Gosier, and welcome to the Cannes Film Festival. And if you have any questions, I'm going to do that after we let Jason talk. Okay. And then also I invited my good friend Bruno Chatelin here. Bruno is literally runs a website called filmfestivals.com, and he's going to talk to you all about how to leverage film festivals to your benefit, building your careers, selling your productions, or finding people like me. So I'm going to pass it to you.
Okay. Hi guys, Jason Porter, film producer, scriptwriter, sometimes actor, also a singer, a songwriter, and a composer for film as well. So, and if that weren't enough, I used to be a visual artist. And yeah, mainly just to talk about what the work we've been doing with SCAD on Jon's films. So at the Atlanta campus, they actually created a number of classes that are devoted to creating what we call the assets that go into what's called the LED volume, or the LED stage, or the XR stage. In Jon's film, the story, it's a very global story with events that take place around the world, but for cost and efficiency reasons, we decided we still wanted to shoot the entire film in Atlanta and not have to go to sort of 15 different global locations. So we're recreating some of those foreign environments in what's called the XR stage. So for the last few months, there's been a number of students there, three different classes total, at least one in Savannah as well. Again, just working on creating those, what are called the plates that then go into the LED volume. And it's been really fun to work with them. The students are amazing. I'm sure you guys are all geniuses. Everyone I've met at SCAD is just incredibly smart and amazing. And it's been very fulfilling to see like their excitement about the project as well. And the stuff they've made is beautiful.